Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Bacon. Welcome to the show, y'all. He sat on the bunk with that envelope balanced on his knee like it was the last fragile thing left in the world. You could see his pulse through his fingers twitching under the paper. He said, "Whatever it says, I won't argue with it." He opened it careful, slow, like he'd done this kind of surgery before. When it unfolded that letter, the air changed. It wasn't fear, just that silence that falls right before truth gets spoken. He read it once in his head, then again out loud, voice breaking in places. "Jamal," she wrote, "I forgave you the night I saw the shoes. But forgiveness don't mean I can sit beside the man who wore them." He stopped, swallowed, then kept reading. "I'll be your mother from a distance. I won't come to the door when you knock, but I'll pray for you when I cook. Send me proof of change, not words. If you get a job, send the stub. If you rent a room, send the lease. If you plant flowers, send dirt on your hands. I'll put it all in a shoebox. That's where I'll keep the son I can live with." He laid that paper flat across his lap like it weighed 10 pounds. Then he said, almost to himself, "She want receipts." And that right there, that was the start of something quiet. Not redemption, not forgiveness, just a man trying to stay measured. From then on, Jamal started writing lists. Proof plan. Every page in that cheap notebook looked like an apology in disguise. Week 1, get job. Week 2, bus pass. Week 3, mail proof. He told me once, "You can't fix the past, Joe, but maybe you can invoice it." I laughed, but the kind of laugh that ends early. The man stopped joking around the block. No poker, no dice. He just worked laundry, folded sheets so tight they could stand up on their own. And every Friday, right before count, he'd sit by the window and write like he was paying rent on his guilt. When his parole date finally came up, Jamal was ready. Not nervous, just quiet. He'd already practiced his speech to the board, telling me no excuses, just facts. And when they asked him about remorse, he said, "I don't got words for that. I got work for that." And they gave him a date, 6 weeks out. He walked back to the unit looking like a man who just found a road that wasn't paved yet. Now, a lot of guys talk about freedom like it's heaven. They forget how much gravity it's got. Freedom can crush a man if he ain't ready to stand up under it. Jamal got out on a gray Tuesday, took a bus to Mr. Reese's place, a halfway room with wood paneling and hope smelling like bleach. He got a job sweeping floors at a warehouse for minimum wage and maximum humility. Every Friday he mailed his mama something. First week a pay stub, second a bus ticket, third a picture of marigolds he planted by the curb. He labeled each envelope the same. Proof number 1, proof number 2, proof number 3. Her first reply came 3 weeks later. It just said, "The flowers look straight." That one sentence kept him going for months. He stayed to himself, kept his head down, did what parole men call maintaining. He worked extra hours when the warehouse let him, paid Mr. Reese rent early, kept receipts like they were scripture. Then one night he called me from a payphone collect. His voice had that sound of cardboard bending, thin but holding it. He said, "Joe, I saw her today." I said, "Where?" "Across the street by the bus stop," he said. "She had a sweater on I remember from when I was 9. "What you do?" I asked. He said, "I crossed the other way." That right there hit me harder than any sermon. Later that week, he mailed her another envelope. Inside it, just a line written in his old sharp handwriting. "I saw you, but I didn't cross." No answer, but he kept sending every Friday. Proof number 9, his first electric bill. Proof number 12, a stub from overtime. Proof number 15, dirt from a garden he started behind the halfway house. Each envelope was like a heartbeat. Then winter came, cold and hungry. The warehouse laid off half the crew. Jamal took odd jobs, shoveling, mopping, fixing whatever broke. He mailed her a note that said, "Work slow. I'm still walking straight. Still Friday." Her answer came a month later. "Walk anyway." That was the last letter she ever sent him. See, most people think distance kills love, but sometimes distance is the only thing keeping love alive. Jamal stayed on his routine like it was medicine. Even after he got jumped behind the bus station, lost his wallet, his stubs, everything, he still mailed her something the next Friday. A bandaged handprint pressed onto notebook paper. Beneath it, "This is still proof." He told me later that was the only time he saw his mother cry. In a photo another inmate's people showed him later. She kept that handprint in the shoebox taped to the lid. Jamal got sick after that. Not fast, just that slow, invisible kind of sick that starts as coughs and ends as silence. He went to the hospital once, got some paperwork, and mailed her the bill with the line, "Still here." Her response came in the spring, "Still praying." Then one day the mail stopped coming. Mr. Reese called me collect, voice low, like he was scared to wake bad news. "He fell, Joe," he said. "Off the ladder, fixing the porch." I just sat there holding the receiver, staring at the wall that seen more endings than I can count. Jamal lasted a week in the hospital. The chaplain said he asked for his bag, the one with the letters. Inside there was one more envelope already addressed to his mother. He'd written, "Ma, if love has weight, you carried all of mine. I'm sorry you had to lift it alone. Keep the proof. Burn the rest." He passed before the ink was even dry. 2 weeks later, I got a letter here in my cell from Miss Reeves. Blue ink, soft script. "Joe," it said, "the chaplain brought me Jamal's last letter. He asked me to tell you thank you for being his friend when I couldn't be his mother up close. I buried the shoebox in my garden and planted marigolds over it. Every Friday I watered them. I think he'd like that. I read it twice, folded it slow, slid it between Psalms and Proverbs, the same place Jamal used to hide his first letter. And that night, when the count lights dimmed, I whispered to the dark, he mailed Friday. 'Cause he did. He kept walking straight till the ground ran out. Now every spring when them flowers bloom behind the chapel fence, I tell the new guys, "See them yellows out there? That's proof somebody made good on a promise." They look at me funny like I'm talking in riddles, but maybe one day they'll understand. Proof ain't about paper. It's about what's left when everything else burns away. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.